Police a crackdown on people living in RVs parked along El Camino Real near Stanford. KPIX 5's Devin Fehely live in Palo Alto with the people who say they're tired of getting chased off. Devin?
Yeah, the city of Palo Alto estimates that there are roughly about 4 dozen, about 50 RVs that routinely park here along El Camino, and the city is planning to do something about it.
From the air, from Skyzone 5, the scope of the problem is clear. RVs stretching as far as the eye can see down El Camino Real.
My normal routine for taking a shower is using a handful of these to wipe it.
But it's from the ground that the human side and the unique challenge of the city's crackdown can best be appreciated.
I've been a few places, and just about everywhere you go, you get chased off.
This is Frank Daniel Aldama, one of dozens of people living in RVs on El Camino. Over a decade ago, Frank says a divorce sent him into a downward spiral of drugs and despair. And when he finally got clean and sober 4 years ago, his family bought him this RV so he would have a roof, however modest and movable, over his head.
It's very uncertain, full of anxiety. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. If I had a way out, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
But Palo Alto is planning to crack down on people just like Frank. Anyone, basically, who parks longer than 72 hours on El Camino could end up ticketed or towed.
All we're saying we're doing is enforcing an ordinance that requires somebody to move their vehicles. It doesn't mean that they need to completely move. I mean, we certainly understand that this is ultimately an issue about people, not about vehicles.
The police department is partnering with social workers to see if they can help the people living in those RVs before displacing them.
If we go out and give people information about what the law actually says and explain the consequences of what could happen if they disregard the law, then we fully expect to gain compliance.
But many living in those RVs say the crackdown feels capricious, an attack on people without much in the way of money or options.
If I had somewhere to go, I'd go.
Now, technically, the city law says that no one can park on the street in the same spot for longer than 72 hours without moving that vehicle a half a mile. So could some of these people just move up or back down the road a half a mile every couple of days? Certainly, but clearly the city is hoping that the crackdown will have a deterrent effect. In Palo Alto, Devin Fehely, KPIX 5.